Pashya, Bhashya, yeah. What page number from the sheets?
34.
34.
Starting 34.
Starting, wait, I'll tell.
Oh, this is sheet.
Yeah, they may have different ones. Push it.
I don't, my sheet, till the toner ran out, I was only able to print up to 22. So I'm not able to help you there. Let's see. I'll tell you exactly. Hang on, wait. Yes, page 34, top of page 34 or 33. Start with 33, 34. Yes, this is Soumya's copy only. Yeah. This is Soumya's copy. See, she has highlighted that.
I think I have this.
Rama?
Vijayas's Dhanavada.
Dhanyavada.
Sorry.
Dhanyavada.
See.
Yeah. So she also knows how to migrate there, even though she came for the first time. She has learned. Because here it didn't start for a while. Yeah. Well, they catch on. This is good.
Yeah.
Ati uttamam. Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Yeah. So talking about the invariable result of this kind of karma called Agnihotra, because it is so difficult. And what is the invariable result? Tears. And from the smoke. Yeah, ayasa, you cry due to exhaustion. You're so tired that you just sit and weep. And then fears. Fears of not having done it properly, that guilt. And that fear of, oh my God, my own omissions, commissions, what will happen? And then the fear of the lineage. That's also what is produced. And the fear that I will not get. This is also the alternative 7 is that they will, such a person will neither get to see their lineage growing well, nor get Pindodaka when they die. Pindodaka means this water and rice ball. They will not get from the Pitra Pautra because they will not be there. Or even if they are there, they will all be rebels. Yeah. They will all of them will be rebels. So he will not get Pindodaka, meaning he is severed from the 7, from the lineage, because there is this whole thing, especially in the ancient cultures where this child mortality was such a big thing, this lineage, the propagation of the lineage was very important. You see this in African indigenous things, you see it in the Native American thing, situation, all these things. So after giving the bad news that all you have is tears, first from the Agnihotra smoke and then later on from the exhaustion, that's all you have, that is the karma phala. At least tears of Agni turn into silver. Your tears, what are they? Just salt water. So and there is no one to do karma for you for the next 7 generations. So, Ukta lokaha himsyate hinasti. Now we have a light number here to ward off the bad, the bad effects of the Agnihotra and other karma. So very musical. Kali karali cha manojava cha sulohitaya cha sudhumravarna, and these are all 7 names of the Sahayoginis, the consorts of fire. Fire, is rich enough to have 7 wives. Yeah, see, I told you 7. 7 here is interesting. So 7 lokas, 7 types of ayasa. So that I am making it up. 7 lokas, and then 7 generations, and then what else? 7 wives of fires. What do they look like? This is what we are going to find out, what they look like. Yeah. They are also called the tongues of fire. You know, when it goes like this, it looks like a tongue. Yeah. The tongue is the only muscle in the human body that's not attached at both ends. It's only attached at one end. That's why we must never let it free. Vak tapas. So the tongues of fire are seen as the various consorts because they help him, Agni, do his work nicely. So when it's a small job, he says, Kali, come on over. You know, when it's a two-tongue job, he says, Karali, better come along. Yeah. And when it's a quick job, like microwave, Manojava, come here, right now. Manojava means swift one, quick. Yeah, like the speed of the mind. How fast does the mind go? Faster than the speed of light. So, if there is anything faster than the speed of light, it is the mind. Correct? Yeah. So all this is indicated here is that, you know, so these various tongues of fire. Microwave is Manojava. Both start with M. Yeah. You know. Kali is crockpot. Yeah. So slowly it goes. You know. Karali is barbecue. You know. Sulohita is that nice looking fire. When you go inside a house, there is like here, there is that, you know, fire going, red, nice red embers. Yeah. Sudhumravarna is when you've had a cooking accident, you know, full of smoke, color of smoke, the smoky one. Sphulingini, sparkly one. Yeah. Vishvaruchi means well-loved one. The one that is loved. Sulohita means the crimson-looking one. Vishvaruchi also means that, you know, she goes, she's welcomed everywhere she goes. That is the one. Devi, the shining one. Dyotabhnatmakatvat. So these lelayamanaha means lela iva acharanti te lelayamanaha. They behave like lela. I told you this is the verbification of a noun. So lelayate lela iva acharati acharanti here because there are many of them. So lela iva acharanti. Acharanti means they behave as like lela. What is lela? Yeah. Undulate. Yeah, so the undulations, they behave as though they are with undulation. So they undulate. Iti sapta jihvaha. These iti means thus are the 7 consorts, tongues of fire. Really nothing much to say here. So we can straight away go to the Bhashya. Kali Karali cha Manojava cha Sulohitaya cha Sudhumravarna Sphulingini Vishvaruchi cha Devi Lelayamanaha Iti sapta jihvaha. What did we just read? The same verse. Yeah. Do you think this is Adi Shankara? No. This is Anandagiri says this is a sleepy brahmachari who just repeated what the verse is repeating. Because in those days we had a very ancient form of Xerox machines. They were called brahmacharis. The students were the Xerox machines of yore. And what did they do? You know, they transcribed everything. They wrote down because this was the way they memorized and everything. So they wrote it and they would produce copies of the Bhashya to be given to various people, you know, who came, and this is how it was. So each copy was done laboriously by hand. And then, you know, this is called brahmachari. Truti. Truti means a sleepy brahmachari was thinking of something else, just mindlessly wrote this. and has become infamous for it also, poor fellow. Yeah, so when something is double, we blame it on the brahmachari. When something is missing, we blame it on the goat. Why goat? It's a leaf. Put the two together. What is the relationship between goat and leaf? Yeah, eaten relationship. Yeah. So, ashnati, so ajabhakshitam means it is, if something doesn't make sense, if there's a big gap in the bhashya, it is generally ajabhakshitam. If there is something extra like here, then it is brahmachari contribution. Really, this is a vipsa. Vipsa means repetition. So really, it is just the verse put in a prose form. So going right by that, now the thing starts, kalyadya, kalyadyaha, Vishvaruchyantyaha, Lelayamanaha, Agnehe, Havihi, Ahuti, Grasamanarthaha, Etaha, Saptajihvaha. Yeah, so Ahutihi Grasamanarthaha Etaha Saptajihvaha means the Grasamana means the Ahuti means, Havihi means offering. Ahuti means the act of offering Havis. Okay, that's the slight difference. Okay. Now, what is this Kalyadyaha, starting with Kali and Vishvaruchyantyaha, those that start with Kali and end with Vishvaruchi. What is the first name of the wife? What's the last name? Yeah, that's what he's saying. So, these Lelayamanaha, these that are undulating, Agnehe, of the fire, Havihi, means the offerings for the fire, Ahutihi, the offerings that are offered to the fire, Grasamanarthaha. Grasamana means those that absorb, those that take, those that ingest, because without the tongues of fire, how will anything burn? So those that consume, Grasamanarthaha, Etaha Saptajihvaha. So the Havihi means offerings, and when it is accompanied by Ahutishcha, Ahuti also, Ahuti means the activity of offering the Havis. That's the slight difference. But otherwise, Grasamanaha means those that are, taking, the whole idea of taking the offering should be there. Otherwise, the offering will not go. That's why the idea is when all the 7 tongues are there, and you have to look closely inside the fire. The smoky one should be there, the red one should be there, Sulohita, the quick one should be there, the sparkly one should be there, the shining one should be there, the Karali, the barbecue, the terrible one should be there, Kali, the bluish black one should be there, bluish one should be there. All of them, only when they are there, the Ahuti is to be placed. Because if you do it only when 3 are there, the other 3 will make sure, the other 4 will make sure you will not get your lokas, not even one. Okay? Either here or there. Yeah. Here means in the form of your 7-fold lineage, there means in the form of 7 lokas, everything is destroyed. So they always do teamwork. Yeah. And because of this teamwork, what do they want? They always want to be simultaneously present to receive your offering. Otherwise, they will not give you the present. Yeah, that's of the karma phala. So therefore, if they are not there, don't put the havis. That's the artha here. Don't put the offering. That's why he's saying agnehe havihi grasamana arthaha. Means the meaning here is please don't put the offering if 7 are not present. And it's very difficult to make sure all 7 are. How are you going to do this? They all look alike also, and they keep borrowing each other's saris. Very difficult to, very difficult to distinguish. Okay, and so in other words, these 7 also do a number on your 7 hopes and 7 desires, either in the here or in the hereafter. They do the number 7. This is what it is, nothing much to explain. Moving right along. एतेषु यश्चरते भ्राजमानेषु
एतेषु यश्चरते भ्राजमानेषु
यथा कालन्
यथा कालन्
चाहुतयो ह्याददायन्
चाहुतयो ह्याददायन्
तं नयन्त्येताः
संनयन्त्येताः
सूर्यस्य रश्मयः
सूर्यस्य रश्मयः
यत्र देवानां पतिः
यत्र देवानां पतिः
एकोऽधिभासः
एकोऽधिवासः
एतेषु यश्चरते भ्राजमानेषु
एतेषु यश्चरते भ्राजमानेषु
यथा कालञ्चाहुतयो ह्याददायन्
यथा कालं चाहुतयो ह्याददायन्
तन्नयन्त्येताः सूर्यस्य रश्मयः
तन्नयन्त्येताः सूर्यस्य रश्मयः
यत्र देवानां पतिरेकोऽधिवासः
यत्र देवानां पतिरेकोऽधिवासः.
Yeah, so this one, this fifth verse, mantra, tells us why the fourth one is important. Because the fourth one is just a string of names, but this one tells us. Because in the presence of these 7, females, the wives of fire, what happens to the offering? The offering to the naked eye, to the one who is doing the what's it saying, doing the yajna, looks like it is burnt, but no, it is not burnt. What happens to them is that they are converted into punya, invisible to the naked eye, because this is all based on Shraddha. And then what happens? And then that punya is taken to the various, is taken taken and kept carefully, taken to Indraloka and kept carefully in your account with the help of sunbeams. Suryasya Rashmayah. So the sunbeams that fall, just they are little punya hogs. They carry the punya along with a name tag of who did the yajna and whether they did it nicely or not. Every punya comes with a little name tag and the person's nakshatra and everything, all that Chitragupta wants to know. And then all this is not visible to you. One needs special divya drishti to see this. Some kind of special blessing you need to see this. Otherwise, these punyas are just vacuumed by the baby rays of the sun and taken and kept in safekeeping. Where? In Indraloka. Or Brahmaloka, but here I think Indraloka. So, same thing, some exalted loka. They are kept safe. So that when you go there, you can be welcomed. This is what, that is why the 7 tongues of fire are important, because they are the one, they have a commercial account with the sun rays. Sunex, like FedEx, Beamex. So, they just say, beam these punyas up. And the sunbeams say, okay. So there is a very nice, account between these 7 ladies of the fire and the sunbeams. Because the sun after all is fire. So the beam is the child of the sun. So they all say, here boy, take them, So, and then they first transform. See, this is a 2-part, very complicated process. It's a relay. So first they transform the chaklis, the laddus, the ghee that you put in the fire into punya. They alone can do it. Grasamanarthaha, it was already pointed out. So they transform it into punya and then they throw it up to the sunbeams and the sunbeam catches the punya. that has been transformed, and make sure the name tag and everything is there. And then what happens? And they carry it along with your account details to the Indra Bank. Yes. So that is where it is waiting for you in abeyance. You, who is you? The fellow who is so much bent on the hereafter, bent out of shape with regard to the hereafter. So if you really wondered what is the purpose of this yajna, how will it help me? This is how it helps. So you think the offering, whatever nuts and ghee that you are putting is being burnt. No. The 7 tongues, they may be charring the body of the ghee and the chakli and whatever you are putting in it. But then that, that chakli is created into punya, whatever that sari that you have put in there. It looks charred, but then don't be alarmed, because what is charred is the physical, what is charred is the physical remnant of the offering. But what is charged is your account with punya. So in some banks, you have to, you put your checks and then you put it in a tube and then you put it there and it's sucked up. Do they still have it?
Yes.
Yeah. It is sucked up and then it is, the empty can is put down and then you put in something else. Just like that. The 7 tongues of fire, they have their connection. They put all they convert this into punya. And then they put the punya in a little, container and along with the name and details, and then the sunbeams suck it up. And then they take it to the correct place, because the sunbeams are all pervasive. Even Indraloka cannot thrive without sun. So some kind of sun is there, and so they take it and they keep it for you safely without a mistake. So eteshu means in the tongues of the fire. So that is the sangati, the connection. Eteshu, what is this eteshu? In what? Okay, we know location. In these what? In these aforementioned, jihvasu, eteshu jihvasu, yaha charante. So eteshu, yaha charante means the one who performs. Bhrajama, eteshu goes with bhrajamaneshu. Eteshu, just location saptami, in these shining, bhraj to shine, in these shining tongues, yaha charante, the one who performs. How does the performer performs? The karta here is called by yaha charante, the one who performs. How does he perform? He or she, yatha kalam cha ahutayah hi adadayan. Yatha kalam means at the correct time, when all 7 tongues are there shining, then when one puts the offering like that. Yatha kalam means at the appropriate time. Kalam anatikramya. So yatha kalam cha ahutayah he, because adadayan, yatha kalam ahutayah adadayan. And so the adadayan here means not the person doing it. Adadayan means the person, yatha kalam cha ahutayah. So the ahuti is offered at the proper time. He adadayan, they carry him. Yeah. Not that he is carrying the ahutis, they carry him. And it's a chandasam form. We'll see the correct form later. And then yatha kalam he ahutayah, he adadayan, tam who, yaha and tam go together. The same one who offered, the same one who performed, not the one sitting next to him, the same one who performed, tam nayanti etaha. Etaha means here not the fire tongues. Etaha here means the oblations. Etaha ahutayah tam yajamanam yah charate tam nayanti. They take him, they take him where, they take him, these oblations, suryasya rashmayah, these oblations, etaha, these oblations are now turned into what? Sunbeams. Rashmi, beam. Rashmayah, beams. Suryasya, of the sun. So these oblations that have now turned into sun rays, these oblations turning into sun rays and taking him upwards, adadayan, they lead him, nayanti. Who is him? The one who performs the rites, ahutis, etc., according to the rules, and offers the ahuti in the shining flames at the proper time. Where do they take him? Yatra, where? There. Devanam patihi, where Indra is the ruler, the single lord. Patihi ekodhivasah. Here we can say the single overlord of the lokas, here of the lokas of the gods. They were celestial lokas, the one who presides. They take him there. First the punyas go, and then following the punyas after death, this fellow also goes. Not that while performing the yajna they take him. No. Don't understand it this way. Okay? So you have to understand the krama here, even though it's not said, you have to understand the order. So first what goes? Punya goes. In that little tube I told you. Yeah. Kali says here catch, and the sunbeam catches the punya, and Kali converts the oblations into punya, provided it is, again another condition, provided it's offered in the right way at the right time, and then she throws it to a sunbeam. A passing sunbeam catches the punya and takes it to the place where Indra is the supreme, here we can use that word, the supreme ruler, meaning there is no one else like him. So Indra, in Indra's treasury, your punya is kept. And then not that as soon as you do Agnihotra, you go join the punya. That does not happen. So therefore, so you have to see the order, okay? Otherwise, it is a little confusing, isn't it? Yeah. So otherwise you don't know what happens. So eteshu means Agnijihva bhedeshu, in the several tongues of fire. Yaha Agnihotri karma acharati bhrajamaneshu eteshu, in these effulgent deepyamaneshu, in these effulgent flames of fire. Yatha kalam cha yasya karminah yaha kalam tat kalam yatha kalam yasya karmanah yah kalam. So meaning, what is to be done at the correct time, that person does, and the person who follows karma according to the stipulated method and the stipulated time. Only when that happens, what happens, punya rupena, in the form of punya, what happens, in the form of punya, these oblations turn into sun rays, or they don't turn into sun rays, they are caught by the sun rays, and then you can see the sun rays, but you don't see them, you don't really, what's that, you don't see the punya. And the surya is important because in the Bhagavad Gita there are two paths, the path of the sun and the path of the moon. What is this? Path of sun and path of moon. Path of moon means that it is a convoluted path to, what is that? Indraloka, Devaloka, Loka Prapti. This is not moksha. Moksha is only one path, which is knowledge, which is no path, because you are already free. So this is what is indicated. What is indicated is that there are two kinds of paths. For the one who has done a lot of good karma, a long stay in heaven is indicated by the solar path. And for the other people it is called the lunar path. Lunar path and solar path, these are the two paths. And then they have certain time zones, like January to June is the solar path, and then June to December is lunar path. So like this they have Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, these are the two paths that are governed by these two time zones. Then see, January to June the summer is coming, it is at its peak. and then June to December there is the waning. So the people whose punyas have been otherwise hijacked or they have not done punyas, they go through what is called the lunar path. So here that's why the sunbeams are of great importance. And when the punya is produced, the punya is also of different kinds of punya are produced. And here, of course, Drishtaphala, Adrishtaphala, and in Adrishta there is a special kind of punya called Apurva Phala. Phala Apurva means a special kind of punya that takes you to lokas which is kept in abeyance just for you. So this Phala Apurva is created which you cannot see. Tam Yajamanam, that person, Yaha Charate, Ahutayah, Suryasya Rashmayah, we have to add one Bhutva there, having become, turning into Suryasya Rashmi, the rays of the sun, then Archadi Margena, solar track, taking you through the solar track, and then what? Whereas the other one is called Soma Marga or Dakshina Marga, lesser known lokas they lead you to. But the Surya Marga takes you to Swarga, where, one fellow is Adhivasati, Sarvanupari Adhivasati, is better than anyone else. Who is that? Who reigns over, who overlords the whole of heaven. So then what happens? This is called Indra Loka. Yeah. So then this is what it is. So Swarga Prapti Artham, this is what the whole thing is. And so this is just the meaning of the verse. Let us look at the Bhashya. Now, Eteshu Agnijihva Bhedeshu Yo Agnihotri Charate Karma Acharati Agnihotradi Bhrajamaneshu Dipyamaneshu. So the one, this is not for everyone. The one who belongs to the select club of people who do their karma properly. Meaning, who wait for all the 7 tongues to be out before they offer. They're not in a rush. I have to go to office. I woke up late. So, Kali, do the rest. The others ones haven't appeared. And then if there's only one flame tongue, one tongue of the flame, and then you put a big Purnahuti, what's going to happen? A sizzling sound will come. And what is that? What is sizzling? What is a hissing sound will come. What is being hissed at is your chances of getting the lokas. So that is what is not going to come. So this is not the office going Agnihotri. This is the one who is the weekend Agnihotri, who is doing it at leisure every day and not just on the weekends. And so he or she is putting everything properly at the proper time, and then what happens as a result? It waits for the Bhrajamaneshu, Dipyamaneshu, Eteshu, Jihvasu, in these fires, waits for the fire tongues to all of them be out, and then doesn't wait for too long either. Yatha kalam cha yasya karmanaha yah kalah tat kalam yatha kalam. Yeah, generally this is a avyayi bhava samasa, which yatha kalam means kalam anatikramya, that is the resolution without crossing the kala that is recommended. But here Adi Shankara takes the time to give a proper, a proper explanation here. Yatha kalam, he says, yasya karmanaha yah kalah tat kalam. So for which karma, what time is there? That is the time. Because we are not talking of one thing. We are talking of an attention, to talk of multitasking. I mean, multi-mindfulness. You have to be so mindful to do the offerings at this time, and how many offerings, not to the left, not to the right, right in the middle, and how many times am I doing it? All these have to be carefully understood. So therefore, yaha kalam yasya karmanah, for which karma, yah kalam, that the prescribed time is what? That time is called yatha kalam. Yajamanam
Yajamanam
Adadayan
Adadayan
Adadanaha.
Adadanaha.
Yeah, he quietly corrects it. Adadanaha means taking. Yeah, taking upwards and outwards. Yeah. So, as in prana. So, but here we are not talking of, it's little unclear whether it's talking of the Yajamana or the prana, Yajamana's prana or the oblations, but it's better to take it as the oblations, and then they will come after the same fellows, will come after the same tongues of fires, will be also responsible for taking this jiva, converting, him also, him, her, whatever, into that invisible way to reach the Indraloka and join with the punya. That is how we have to take it. So, adadanaha sa yajamanam later on, not now. So so the adadanaha means those ahutis that were offered by the yajamana. Adadanaha. So previously means all lifelong those ahutis that were offered by the yajamanas, that were put like this. They are the one, they take him outwards. Ahutayah yajamanena nirvartita. Ahutayah yajamanena nirvartitaha tam nayanti prapayanti iti. Yeah. So this is the connection between the dropping of the ahuti. See, there's a very nice way it is explained. Adadanaha means that which was dropped earlier now turns into a vehicle for what? Upward movement of the punya. What? The ahutis themselves. Here, the first eteshu refers to the tongue, and then this one, the etaha, the second etaha here refers to the ahutayah. That if you don't understand this, you will get confused. So the first one, eteshu, refers to the previous verse of the 7 tongues, and then the etaha here, that really goes with nayanti. That which etaha goes with adadanaha, etaha ahutayah yajamanam nayanti, yajamanena nirvartitaha etaha. So that which was performed by the yajamana in the form of the correct offerings, the correct amount of offerings at the right time, in the right way, not while talking to others, while saying the mantras properly. All this has to be extrapolated, yatha kalam. Then what happens? Now they are no longer adadanaha, they are no longer just being offered. Now, as they are offered properly, they convert into invisible punya that becomes the fuel that rockets this fellow upward to Indraloka. That is the whole understanding. So, yajamanena nirvartitaha, performed by the yajamana, offered by the yajamana, tam yajamanam nayanti, they take this fellow, and then prapayanti means make them get the result, make this fellow get the result. Who? Ahutayah. So, ahutayah yaha imaha anena nirvartitaha. So what is the thing that takes him upwards? Adadanaha take him upward. What is adadanaha? The ahutayah. So the ahutayah, that is adadanaha, offered at the correct time, become the vehicle for him to not only gain the lokas, but also for him to get everything that he wanted. So anena nirvartitaha. So imaha, all these ahutis, what happens to them? Suryasya rashmayah bhutva rashmidvaraihi ityarthah. So they become the rays of the sun, the beams of the sun, having turned into sunbeams, They don't turn into sunbeams. You know, they are caught by the sunbeams. So they become sunbeams. They turn into sunbeams, Bhashya says. And then Rashmidvaraihi, by the solar marg, they take the person. Yatra
Yatra
Yasmin Swarge
Yasmin Swarge
Devanam Patihi
Devanam Patihi
Indraha
Indraha
Ekaha
Ekaha
Sarvan Upari
Sarvanupari
Adhivasati
Adhivasati
Iti Adhivasaha.
Iti Adhivasaha.
Adhivasaha. So where do they take? Yatra, Kutra, where do they take? They take Yasmin Swarge, in which heaven, Devanam Patihi, you know, the Lord of heaven. Who is the Lord of heaven? Indra. Where Devanam Patihi, this Devanam Patihi, this Indra is having sole reign. Ekaha, sole, Adhivasaha, bosses over everyone else. Yeah. Sarvan Upari, over everyone else. Adhivasati, overlords everyone else. Everybody comes under his rule. So this is the idea. So Sarvan Upari Adhivasati. So the idea is this, that you can't, this is not about gaining Brahmaloka, even though that's going to be said in the next mantra. This is just Swarga. Swarga means what? The lower rungs of heaven. Why? Because this is karma alone. What? Well, where is the time to do anything else? I'm wondering how to, fit my lunch in there. So many things you have me doing. Well, I have news for you. If you really want to go to Brahmaloka, you have to find time to do meditation. But only sleep will come because ayasa is there. Well, not our problem. We are only prescribing what to do. But then after giving away so much food, after calling 1,000 people 4 times a year, 4 weddings, in a year, and then after doing all this dana, dharma, and daily agnihotra, morning, evening, and then what, bi-monthly other rituals, what are they? Darsha, Paurnamasa, all these things, and Agrayana, Chaturmasya, then twice a year giving away the Nutana, Dhanyam, all these things. Where is the time for meditation? Well, you have to find time. That's not our problem. We are just telling you, do you want this? Yes, of course I want. Then find the time. You will find the time. Oh my God, I'm already tired. Well, not our problem again. Have that vitamin mega pack. And then, okay, all right. What if I do this, what will I get? Then you will go to Brahmaloka, where Brahma Ji is Ekodhivasah. He is the ruler of everything. And that's the ultimate shores of samsara. It's higher than Indra. Indra is just, thumbed over by Brahmaji. Yeah, so Brahmaji is the reigning and he is the author of this Upanishad. So you should go to him. And so you have to do meditation. And is meditation is given anywhere so far? No. So what does this mean? This cannot mean Brahmaloka. It means only what? Swarga, your usual heaven, Yeah, with Rambha, Urvashi, stringing you along, literally. That's all it is. Yeah. Dancing you to their tunes and stringing you along for a little while until the sunbeams disconnect your punya from you, and then, you come back. You come back. That's all. Like the coin which has never gone out of circulation, like a persistent bad coin, one comes back. So then why all this? Well, because the takers for heaven are many. The takers for Brahmaloka are also many. The takers for Brahman? Not at all many. Yes, this is the whole idea. The idea is that, see, for Brahman, what do you have to do? You have to get up early in the morning. Yeah, but even for Agnihotra, I have to get up early in the morning. Yes, but instead of going and standing in queue and buying firewood and ghee, what do? You just come and sit in class. You don't have to do anything. There is no ayasa. No, but I sleep in class all the time. But I'm always sleeping in class. Just like Agnihotra, what is the commonalities? Let us see, both start early in the morning. Yeah, that is true. In both I'm getting sleep. You know, in both there is sleep deprivation. Sleep comes in class because that's the only way you know how to relax. That's one reason it comes. And you find it very relaxing. Here you don't have to worry about who is thinking of you, how you're going to do what. You're really so relaxed, and the only form of relaxation is sleep. So promptly the mind shuts down, out of sheer relief. Oh, I'm the whole. Out of a sheer sense of relief, the mind goes, finally all the sleep deprivation, thinking that I was an idiot, can go now. That is one reason to sleep. The other reason is because the mind is a muscle, the brain is a muscle. And the muscle has to be used, right? Yeah. And Vedanta and Sanskrit grammar uses it in ways that you never thought it is possible. And nowadays they say you need to train the brain. What do you have to do? Some numbers you have to put in some squares. Sudoku. Yeah. Everybody on the plane is playing it. Everybody sitting next to me is playing the Sudoku. You should never use the same number twice. Either this way or that way. And all of them, either this way, that way, or diagonally. 9 squares will be there. I think 9 squares. Although you can have some fancy versions. But this is the basic one. So horizontally, vertically, and then horizontally, vertically, and diagonally, it has to add up to the same some number they tell you. Arbitrary, it is already decided. And 2-3 numbers are temptingly filled in, and you have to fill in the other 9, without using the same one again. And these people just stress over. So sometimes the whole plane ride goes from here to Washington DC. They are not able to solve it. And this is, touted as brain training. But really, Vedanta is like 100 Sudokus, 1,000,000 Sudokus at once. It opens up channels that were never even used. Synapses that had never fired will start to fire. The clarity is just engulfing. Yes, sleep overpowers in the beginning because the mind is not used to thinking in those logical ways. My brain is the laziest thing. 2 days if you don't use it, you just forget, Yeah. Somebody told me, I'm afraid of the weekends. I said, why? Because, after you have 2 days holiday, then you just forget what to do. When you wake up, it's very difficult to get back into the rhythm. And if you go on a holiday, like more than 2 days, 5-6 days, 1 week, it's even harder to get back in the rhythm and have those quick reflexes and all that. Maybe there is some truth to it. The brain is just like every other muscle. Muscles are lazy, Nobody wants to do yoga. Bhoga comes easily. Yoga does not. Nobody wants to walk. Nobody wants to do things. Maybe some exercise buffs are there, but barring those people, if you forget to do it one day you say, oh, weather is not nice, raining, too hot, too cold, you don't go. 2-3 days you don't go. After that, it is very difficult to put that in place. All the muscles say, what are you doing to me, you cruel idiot? How can you do this to me? All I want to do is, sit on the couch like a potato and eat a potato. That is that is what I want to do. And and mindlessly watch something. And here you are making the left foot go in front of the right foot. Both of them are on strike. And then if you are lifting weights or doing yoga, push-ups, pull-ups, they're all, the biceps, triceps, all the seps are on strike. They stage a protest. They say, no, we have our rights. We are not going to let you move. We are going to make you regret even taking one step for this walk, because tomorrow we are going to make you so sore that you will never wish you had walked. This is what happens with the brain also. And this frequently happens. One day the exposure is gone. One day You say, oh, only one class I didn't attend. No big deal. And then you see how hard it is to get back. Yeah. Oh, is it going to be like this always? Thankfully, no. But until one is able to dismiss the hordes of Ajnanam and their various broods and offsprings, the 7th generation of Ajnanam, we have to keep in with the theme. What happens? Until then, it is bad news, because one class if you miss, then you miss, and you never are able to get there. That's why we don't say take breaks. There is no, break in Vedanta is spelled B-R-A-K-E. Screech comes to a grinding halt. Finished. That is why the certain ways it is designed. The break is not there, because if you take a break, then what happens? You put a break on the studies. That's why it is, it is advised to have frequent and constantly be in touch with that. Then the sleep also will not come. Sleep comes because of two things. One is that relaxation, and the second one is, distraction. Distraction is because of what? Distraction is because the mind is refusing, the brain is refusing to work in the ways that you are telling it to, or the teacher is prescribing, or the class is doing that because of many reasons. Because you don't see the benefit of it, so the value of it is not there, and it's gone, and or that which has no value has come up, and as a protester, as a parallel competitor. Vedanta has no value, but something else has value in my life, so that is the thing that is overpowering, so there is no place left for Vedanta. This is what happens. So therefore, there is a certain grit and a perseverance is needed before one gives up. Sleep means either you are tired and you need to go to sleep, which is an objective reason, but if it's a subjective sleep that keeps coming, that means that there is a protest happening. There is some resistance that has to be looked at, just like the muscles resist doing what is good for the very body, and the mind resists eating what is really good for you. This Ayurvedic physician will tell you this. All the kapha pravritti people. Kapha means what? The people who are slow in digesting and slow in moving. Not a bad thing, but certain people are slow. And for such people, you should not eat things that take a long time to digest, like raw vegetables. But all kaphas want salad, and then you should not eat fried things. You cannot keep the kapha away from French fries. They will make a beeline for it. And the vata person should get a lot of rest, but the vata person keeps running around like a chickenless head. So and the vata person is told not to get stressed, but stress is the middle name of every vata person. The vata person is told not to eat cold, airy, dried things, and the vata person only wants freeze-dried things. What to do? This is what the pravritti, this is swabhavika pravritti, the general tendencies which I have to have mind over matter. Yeah. What is mind over matter? I have to have a will. Here is where to use the free will to overpower these kinds of subtle protests and resignations and these subtle ways in which the brain gives up. You have to say, no, I want this. You are my to not come. Whether you need to drink coffee before class or whatever, everything is okay. And so this is what it is. So the sleep comes because of these reasons. And just like that's why you have to say, mind over matter, because otherwise it's a very bad situation. If I don't mind, it doesn't matter. That you shouldn't think that. One must not go there, So it is better to get into the place where the will is. It is nice to have the will, commanding over all the other various thought processes. Okay, we'll stop here. We've done enough for today. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Next weekend, next Saturday, we'll see tomorrow, tomorrow nothing. Tomorrow only the grammar and the Tattva Bodha is there. And then day after tomorrow we'll be back with Kathopanishad, Bhagavad Gita. Today 4 o'clock, Bhagavad Gita. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Any questions are there?
No questions, but the computer, when Swaminiji was talking about the brain going to, the whole internet just went, it's relaxing. I fell asleep.
Some karma.
So hopefully they got it. I'll put the sound recording up and